Okay, here's a short video about my new belt grinder. It's a Grizzly 1 horsepower with a 72 by 2 inch belt. On the left hand end you can see this extended spindle with a wire wheel on it. The reason for that wire wheel is when you have a complex workpiece you can move it in and out around the wheel to get in all the corners. For example, in contrast to this style of bench grinder where it's very difficult to get things in close to the wheel if they've got a complex shape. I also have a buffing wheel which I have not yet tried, which will go on there, and presumably there's a bunch of different things I could do with the left hand end. The right hand end, of course, is the 2x72 belt on a 10-inch wheel, which is apparently something that knife makers really like. And this tool is really a knife maker's tool. Of course, I'm not going to be making knives with it. That's silly. I've got loads of knives. But I have already used it to clean up a whole bunch of tools, sharpen chisels, axes, hammers. Not sharpening the hammers, maybe cleaning them up. So there's lots of things you can do with it. The first thing I had to do with it, which is very self-referential and meta, was make this little table here. So this was missing when it came to me. The previous owners had lost it somewhere in their backyard. What I did was I used a Sawzall to cut a piece of that heavy angle iron there and did some cleaning, but then of course I brought it back to the belt here and freehand I put the straight edges on it, put the angle on it, cleaned up everything, put a nice face on it, took off a whole bunch of the scale, and then I took it over to the drill press to drill a hole in it and back again to mount it up and get everything straight. And obviously this square here is where I've been squaring it up to the belt. The reason this is important is that you can rest things on this and move them very gently into the belt just to get a very fine-grained control of the abrasion of whatever it is you're working on. This can do wood or metal. You can sharpen things, blunten things, polish things, do all kinds of crazy crap. Got an 80 grit belt on it right now, which is sort of a medium and pretty useful coarseness of belt. You change the belts by pulling down on this piece here. You can see the belt is slackened off. It's very quick to change, and I have a pile of belts over here. There's some 400s, 120s, other different things in there. And that makes it very fluid. Once you're finished at one coarseness, you can go to the next level of fineness to get a finer finish on the work. So that's it. That's a brief tour of my new belt grinder. New to me anyway. And cheers everybody. I hope you're all having a good time. Some fine Twin Elephants American IPA.